Okay, let us get into the lecture now. In last session, we have seen something on the arbitrage process, and we'll be continuing it in this today's session. And with this, and today's session will be ending the arbitrage process, which is your 10-mark question. So before getting into that, we have the one more thing that has to be seen. Okay, I'll be giving you overall view of it one. Then we'll be proceeding later while we dealing with some other topics. Then only I can able to explain you in detail. So what is this thing? I'm going to tell you something, but about the corporate risk management. Corporate risk management. So what is this corporate risk management? So normally when it comes to the techniques that the company use to protect themselves by having an exposure in the markets, or I can say the techniques company provide, or I can say it get an help from the external agencies, or I can say it has its own internal staffs, okay, who are more professional. They really give them a very well advice on protecting the company's position to be in better position to be in the better in sense the monetary position where the losses should not prevail. So that is immediate contention over here. So what is this exposure thing? Okay, so the company is exposure to several risks that we're going to talk. Okay, so here the exposure in the sense is that company is being affected with risk. So here in this topic, we are more mostly concerned with the interest rate and the currency exposures. So these are the main thing that we're going to see, right? The interest rate and the currency risk exposures, right? So later we'll be getting into the bond risk, right? So when we deal with the euro bonds and all, then we'll be seeing how far the bond risk will be affecting the company's exposure. Now, company have several techniques. So typical techniques they have. Uh, one is the internal techniques where they have the protection measures, and they have one more technique called external techniques. So internal technique is nothing but you have the netting, then you have matching, then you have leading and lagging, leading and lagging. Then you have the pricing policies allotted by the firm, pricing policies. Then you have the ALM. So ALM is nothing but your asset and liability management. So this is the exposure techniques that normally they do. This is nothing but your internal exposure techniques. So exposure technique in the sense the company, the corporate has been affected with the currency and the interest rate risk, and they have to protect themselves not to get into losses. So external technique is normally it's easy for you. Okay, for internal techniques mostly it is mostly internal in nature. So here the company's internal management will be playing a vital role. So if you had an uh, overview on the in the auditing part, you know what is internal control techniques. There are various internal control techniques where you people would have learned that. The same thing will be continuing, but that is concerned with auditing. This is concerned with the risk management. Okay, so the internal control, if you know, the various statistics tool will be used for the internal control measures. So here we are be mostly concerned with the uh, mathematical part. Okay, so when it comes to the external part, external techniques, they have the forward contracts where they can hedge themselves. Forward contracts. Then we have the they follow the short-term borrowing techniques. Short-term borrowing. Then we have the discounting part. Depending upon the nature of transaction, they follow the techniques for discounting. Then factoring, you all know what is factoring. So this I'll not be discussing, you people know that. So these are mostly concerned with the derivative, okay, that we'll be getting into. And this is mostly concerned with the internal techniques. So we have the netting is nothing but you have to, there is a regular interval of payment, okay, between the receiving and payment of the external currencies, where you have to ensure that at what timing. So it means mostly the timing is the very, very important. So netting is mostly concerned with timing, at which timing is very important, where you can protect your risk. So matching is nothing but you have to see which are the exchange rate that you can match, okay, and you can see is it okay for you or not. There is a lot of matching is that we have parallel matching, okay, we have non-parallel matching, okay. I'll be explaining when we get into the, when I complete the arbitrage, then only you know what is this thing, right? Because this techniques involves the arbitrage. When you know the concept of arbitraging, then only you can able to understand what is this and all, right? So let me continue with the arbitrage technique. So we have seen what is this corporate risk management and how the company is getting exposure. So normally we'll be focusing only on the interest rate risk and the currency exposure risk. So firms are managing the two techniques. They follow the internal techniques and they follow the external techniques. So these are the techniques that I have given you. So let us get into the arbitrage part. So we know what is an arbitrage. Okay. So arbitrage is nothing but the act of buying a currency in one market at a lower price and selling it in another at higher price, which results in what? The benefit of the exchange rate of different currencies that we have already seen. So what is this arbitrage? Okay. So normally we have several type of arbitrage available in the market, right? Normally the forest market here refers to in the terms of forest market, in the terms of forest market, about MKT market. It's nothing but the act of buying on currency, okay, act of buying one currency, okay, and selling it in another currency, right? So here we have the lower price. At lower price you'll be buying it and you'll be selling it higher price. So this is a typical thing that we follow. But when it comes to the market conventions, this theory may not work out. Okay, you're not able to always buy it low and sell it high. It may not work out. Okay, so it is for the typical trader. If you're a regular trader and you have to, you are involved in swing trading. Okay, so if you're involved in swing trading, then you can possibly go for this simple technique that I've said. So it is nothing but taking advantage of inconsistent pricing. So what you're going to do would take an advantage of inconsistent pricing to lock in the risk-free profits, right? So let me get into a simple example for explaining what is this arbitrage. Okay, suppose we have two banks, Bank A. So already we have discussed this one, but I'm just giving you a small recall once again so that people will be more comfortable with the types of arbitrage. So Bank A and Bank B are giving the quotes in, suppose take euro, 1 euro. 1 euro has been priced in terms of US dollar, right? So 1 euro is being priced in terms of US dollar. And this is your bid rate and this is your offer rate. So I put it, the value, I'll keep it simple, 0.8410, 0.8415, right? The sense that we have for the Bank B, which quotes the pricing of your euro in terms of dollar is 0.8417, then 0.8422. Okay, so now you have to see the arbitrage positioning over here. So if people can tell what is the benefit, how we can have the benefit of the arbitrage pricing over here. Anyone can see whether the arbitrage opportunity existing in that.
Sir, we can buy in bank A, sir, and sell in bank B.
Okay, which what have to buy?
Sir, dollar, sir.
Dollar terms currency you have to buy or the commodity currency you have to buy?
Sir, commodity, sir.
Commodity currency, which one is commodity currency here?
Sir, dollar, sir.
Sir, euro, sir.
This is your
Sir,
commodity
euro,
currency,
sir.
na?
Sorry, sir.
This
Euro,
is
sir.
your terms currency.
Sir, I'll buy euro in bank A at bid rate, sir, and sell euro in bank B at offer rate, sir.
Right, you say we'll do that. See how much profit you're getting. Suppose we want to buy euro from bank A, but at B. Okay, and the same way we sell the euro to bank B. To bank B. Okay, so buy euro from bank A and sell euro to bank B. So you are the trader, or I can say you are the broker. So at what rate the bank will be selling you the euro? At what rate?
Sir, bank will be selling at 0.8415 if we are taking from A, and while we sell it, it will be buying at bit rate 0.8417.
Yes, exactly. So bank A will be buying euro from the bank A. Okay, so we are the broker and we have to buy the euro. So the bank will be selling the euro at the offer rate, which is nothing but 0.415. Okay, so we are selling euro and will be bank A will be giving us the euro at 0.8415. The same way we'll be selling to bank B the euro. So bank B will be buying the euro at the bid rate. Okay, so it will be buying the euro at bid rate. So we can find the difference over here. So 0.8417 minus 0.8415. So how much you're getting?
Sir, 0.002, triple 02, sir.
0.0002. So it means that we are somewhere having the 2 points profit. 2 points profit. So normally this profit will be there for only for say 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, this 2 points will be there only for 5 to 10 minutes. After that, the arbitrage positioning will not be available in the currency trading. So that is what I'm talking about. So when you're a broker, you have to be very agile. That how far you go to can benefit within the fraction of seconds. So timing is very important here. That is very important. So whenever you get to the arbitrage, you should not start thinking what is this, what is this not. This will not work out. Okay, normally you have to be very careful while getting benefit out of it. So I'm not referring here, I'm not adding any transaction cost over here. So we are not concerned with the transaction cost. If there is some transaction cost, then you have to see that from the points there will be some very less cost will be taken from the quoting bank. If you're a quoting bank, or if you're a calling bank, you will be getting the transaction cost out of it. So this is the simple thing that we have seen. Now getting into the arbitrage part. Okay, so in the context of spot market, we have two types of arbitrage. Okay, we have two types of arbitrage typically in the spot market. One is your geographical arbitrage. Okay, geographical arbitrage, and next one is your triangular arbitrage. Okay, you have your geographical arbitrage and you have your triangular arbitrage. So here when we see the geographical arbitrage, the name itself suggests, okay, name itself gives you it's nothing but consists of buying your currency from the forex market. Say I put it geographical arbitrage, GA. It's nothing but buying your currency. Okay, buying currency from a forex market. Okay, say London. Okay, and you sell the currency in another forex market, say Japan. Okay, so here you will be seeing the advantages over here. So geographic is nothing but different geographical location. From one location you'll be buying a currency, and another location you'll be selling the currency. This is a typical thing. Mostly traders will be doing that, right? Traders and we people, suppose we will be dealing with the currency trading. Normally we go for the geographical arbitrage, because this is more benefit for us. Okay, because not to get into more of the transaction costs and intricacies involved in that, we probably go for this one. We go to the broker. He'll be listing out in the dealing room. He will be listing out. So normally you have the Reuters 2000. That is an exchange dealing system. Okay, Reuters 2000 is a software. Okay, which list out the exchange dealing system. Okay, you have the exchange dealing system where you have the list of currencies which has been listed out, and the various currencies will be there. Okay, and as per the geographical location, they would have been listed the currencies, and you will be seeing which is more equivalent to you. Okay, so for that you will be grabbing the currencies, and you have to put it into the Excel, and you have to compare which are the currencies which is more favorable to you. So this has to be done within 1 hour. Okay, after 1 hour the rate may change, or within 10 minutes you have to see. Okay, or within 20 minutes you have to see. So within that you have to gain the advantage of your arbitrage process. Okay, if you think, if I've given you a task that you have to collect the all the exchange rate, and you have to find the arbitrage. If you take it for 1 hour, or you take it for 1 day, then it is useless to go for that techniques. Or I can say this is a short-term hedging technique, right, where you will be getting benefit without spending your time. So within 10 minutes you'll be earning $100. Okay, suppose there will be loss also. There may be loss of $50 also. So it is as per the benefit which is available in the thing that you have to see, right? So this is the simple thing that I have said to you. Let us let us get a simple example. Okay, for the, suppose we have the forex centers, right? They have given the quote on, say, rupee / US dollar. Okay, so the rates has been quoted, but in two different geographical location. So assume that which one is in London. Okay, suppose in London they have given rupees 47.5730. Okay, and 47.6100. The same way in the Japan. So normally Japan is not be given, it will be Tokyo. Okay, so Tokyo, we have the rupees 47.6350, and we have 47.667. So you are an arbitrator who has rupees 100 million, right? Suppose you are the arbitrator. This person remove
பிரசன்னா கிளாஸ்ல இருக்க, வீட்ல என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க? மியூட் போட சொன்னா காது கேட்கலையா உனக்கு? சாரி சார்.
Suppose you are an arbitrator, okay, who has rupees 100 million. Okay, you are an arbitrator who is having in 100 million. So now you people tell me, you are the trader, how you will be benefit out of it. So when you are more comfortable with arbitrage, then derivative is nothing for you. You can quickly know the logic behind that. So this is the rate which is given to you. You are having rupees 100 million. So rupees 100 million is nothing but what? 10 crore. Okay, it's correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So you are having 10 crore in your hands. Okay, so you're having 10 crores in your hands. This is the arbitrage which is given to you. So tell me whether the currencies, the quote which is being given is whether it is in home currency or it is foreign currency as per the geographical location.
Sir, could you repeat the question, sir?
I'm asking you as per the geographical location, whether the quote which has been given, right? The quote which has been given, whether it is a foreign currency or home currency for the geographical locations.
Sir, for the geographical locations, it's foreign currency, sir.
Yeah, for the geographical location, it is in foreign currency because these have been cross rates for them. Okay, for us, it seems that it's a direct quote. Okay, but it is not. See, in the London, US dollar / rupee has been quoted. The pricing of US dollar has been quoted in terms of rupee in London. For the London, for them, it is a foreign currency. Okay, the same way the cross currency rates has been for them. It is a cross currency rates because the London, Japan, they need yen, right? Yen is not here, right? Their home currency is not displayed over here. They have two different foreign currencies, rupee and US dollar. It means it is in foreign currency which has been quoted in two different forex centers. So you are the you are the arbitrager, and you have seen the list of the exchange rates, and you have selected this two. Probably for settling this one, it will take at least the timing. Say suppose the London bank closes at say 12 p.m. and they will be opening at 3 p.m. Okay, the same way Tokyo Bank opens at say 3:15 p.m. So within that, you have to see the whether the arbitrage position is possible. So when suddenly the Tokyo opens, you can apply the trading execution part, then you will get the benefit. Okay, so within that gap, you can find the this one. So when there is a closing of bank, the exchange rate will not move actually. Okay, so within that, you have to see whether the arbitrage position is really possible or not. So if people can tell me you are having 10 crore in hands and you have selected these are the two cross currency rates that you have selected from two different geographical location. So you see whether you're going to benefit out of it.
Sir, yes, sir. We can buy in London, sell in Tokyo, sir.
So we can buy in London. What we have to buy in London?
Dollar, sir.
Yeah, okay. So we have to buy dollar. So first strategy. So we will be buying US dollar. Okay. So we want to buy US dollar at what rate? The London bank is selling the dollar.
Sir, offer rate, sir.
What is the offer rate which is given to us?
47.61.
Okay, so 47.6100. Okay, so we'll be buying the US dollar. So the London quoting bank will be selling the US dollar at the offer rate, which is 47.6100. Right. So what will the conversion? So because it is a cross currency rate. Okay, so you have to divide the. Suppose we are having the 1 lakh in rupee or 10 crore in rupee, right? So what this can be converted into, see, rupee 10 crore divided by the rate. Okay, 47.6100. Right. So we have your US dollar. How much US dollar we are having getting
Sir,
now?
approx will get $21,000, sir.
$21,000. Or any value is given there after that? Any value is there?
Sir, 3.99 it's coming, so 4, sir. 21,004.
21,004. Okay, 21,004. Right. So is it clear? Anyone has any confusion on this?
No, sir. No confusion, sir.
Okay, 21,004. Okay. You tell me all the approximations value. We don't stick with the, we tell all the value actually.
Okay, sir.
How much is getting? 210.
21003.99.
3.99 we're getting one thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3.99.
So we have to, okay, 3.99. 3.99, okay? 99, right. So this is the US dollar. We bought the US dollar. We are having US dollar in their hands. Okay. Now, this US dollar has to be sold to another geographical location, which is Tokyo. Okay. So at what rate we will be selling to the Tokyo, or at what rate the Tokyo will be buying US dollar from us?
Sir, bid rate, sir, 47.6350.
Yeah, exactly. So we will be selling. Second thing is that we have done a conversion in the London quoting bank, and now we have to sell the this US dollar. Okay, US dollar 21003.99 to the Tokyo Bank. So the Tokyo Bank will be buying the dollar at the 40, which is your bid rate 47.6350. So here we can directly multiply it because it is easy for us. So the US dollar 21003.99 into the rate 47.6350. So 6350. So how much will be getting in terms of rupee?
Sir, 10 crore 525, sir.
10 crore 525.
0.99, sir. Sorry, sir. 0.099.
You put me 100.
0525.
0525.
Point
Hmm.
099.
Okay, 099. Okay, so this is the, we'll see whether the difference will really get us any positive position. Okay, so we are having the 10 crore in our hands. So yes, exactly, we're getting the benefit, right? So what is the profit we are having? You can
Sir,
find the difference.
525.099, sir.
So 525.099. Okay, so this is the thing, but you have to approximate it something. Okay, 530 also you can do that. Okay, so they're getting rupees 530. So it is for only one contract, but we have several contracts. It is only one contract that we are getting. Suppose if there is a 10,000 contract, okay, 10,000 contract, the calling bank has taken. So how much is the profit we are getting? 10,000 into 530, how much will be getting?
Sir, 53 lakhs, sir.
Yeah, 53 lakhs. So you're putting 10 crore, you're having 10 crore in hand. So within the, this is something 2 hours, okay, within 1 hour, you're earning 53 lakhs. Nothing. So bank is sitting simply in the treasury and they are earning 53 lakhs. So those monies are our money only. Okay, so they'll be parking the money. Our money is there now. So these people will be benefiting out of it. 53 lakhs. So that is what the thing. Just this is your geographical location. So this is geographical advantage that we have taken. So next thing is your triangular arbitrage. Okay. So very interesting to teach you, but time is running out. Next thing is your triangular arbitrage. Okay, I'll just put it, I'll put it more simple. Okay, triangular arbitrage. Okay, see, the name suggests nothing but the triangular arbitrage take place where there are three currencies involved. Okay, three currencies involved in three markets. Put it in a triangle. I'll put it a triangle. Okay. So It means nothing but the three currencies involved in three markets. So suppose we have the Mumbai market, okay, where the dollar has been quoted in terms of rupee. The dollar has been priced in terms of rupee. And suppose we have the London market, London Forex market, where the pounds is been priced in terms of rupee. And suppose we have the New York, I put it in NY, the US dollar is been priced in terms of pound, 1.6231. So from this, you can find the arbitrage opportunities. Is there any arbitrage opportunities existing here? So mostly these are cross rates. So from the cross rates, when you're more comfortable with the cross rates, then only we can get into that. Okay, so you can find. So here we have the we can see which are the two markets where we can do a deal. Okay, so here one thing is that you have to go to suppose uni dollar, you have to go here, then again you have to come here. So you have to deal with the three different markets. So three different markets with three different currencies with three different pricings. Okay, so three different markets, three different commodity currency and three different term currency which is in price. Then you have to find the triangular arbitrage, right? So triangular arbitrage is nothing but three markets you will be dealing. Okay, it's up to you whether how many market you're dealing. Okay, this is the simple part, right? So the when it comes to this is the part where we can get benefit only from the spot market, right? So this geographical arbitrage and the triangular arbitrage can be done only in spot market. So we have to be very voracious for the timing. Timing is very important. Okay, because if you're a swing trader, you're more concerned with 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So within 10 minutes, you can earn $50, right? Or within 20 minutes or within 30 minutes, you can earn 50,000 rupees. So it's up to your strategy what you follow. Okay, if you're speculator, mostly speculator do that, but there is also a heavy loss. Okay, if there is a mistake of wrongly dealing with the currencies, right? If you're having the benefit of the rates which has been given to you, but you don't follow the transaction, we are not getting into the transaction cost here and not adding any transaction cost here. We are working out without the help of the transaction cost. So you have to see the transaction cost also. So if some of the rate which is favorable to you, okay, some of the rate which is favorable to you and you're not seeing the transaction cost which the quoting bank gives you, then it is up to you. So you have to be more careful on that also. So you have to look after. So as a finance manager, you have to look these and all. So as a treasury manager, so mostly treasury people will be doing this. Okay, but all treasury people will not be doing. Okay, those who are, who are more specialized in the forex risk management, right? So for that you have to do some certification on that. Then only you can get into this part. Okay, you should have a CFA first. Okay, CFA is the main thing where you can get in work in this field. So it's a very interesting field, right? So depending upon the benefits that you are drawing out to the bank, you will be given the performance incentives, right? So I have worked in these treasury platforms as a research analyst. So I'm just telling you what is happening over there. Okay, right. Next thing is that these are two type of arbitrage. One more type of arbitrage is regarding the forward markets. Okay, the arbitrage in forward market. Arbitrage in forward market. So arbitrage in forward market is nothing but the yesterday that we have done, right? From the spot rate, we have derived the forward rate, right? So as a arbitrager, you have to see that you have to derive the forward rate and you have to compare with the market. So whether the forward rate which is more preferable to you, right? So mostly you have to be more familiar with the cross rates. Okay, so cross rates just quoted in the various markets that you have to deal with. So one of the type of the arbitrage they are having is nothing but the covered interest arbitrage. We called as covered interest arbitrage. Okay, say covered interest arbitrage. So this you have to think about it. So covered interest arbitrage. So it is nothing but same thing, the gain that we will be doing it. So, so first thing is that I have to explain you the cross rates. Okay, so then only people will be getting more familiar with it. So cross rates, I have already taught you on the cross rates. Let me give you one example. So very easy example I will give you. Right, suppose you are the Japanese exporter. Okay, suppose you are the Japanese exporter. Okay, and you have decided to sell euro and buy yen. You are a Japanese exporter, and you have decided that you will be selling euro and buying yen. So you go to a broker and you say that, sir, I need to sell euro and buy yen. He says that, sir, the rate which is given by you is not applicable. I will just give you some of the cross rates which is applicable to you. You see that and you deal with the bank. Okay, you give me the cross rates. So the broker gives you the cross rates. Suppose the $1 is equal to yen 125.50 and 125.60. Okay, in the same way, the euro is given in US dollar 0.8410 and 0.8415. So these have been given by the quoting bank in the same location or another location, whatever may be used. Okay, so the quoting bank gives you the broker draws you and gives you that these two banks are giving you these are the two quoting banks. Suppose the quoting bank 1 and quoting bank 2, they give you the cross rates. So these are the cross rates that you can see, and you can sell your euro and you can buy your yen. So now you people have to tell me, so what rate is applicable for us in terms of euro? So in terms of euro, how much yen we need? So euro has to be priced at what price? This you have to convert it. Getting the point, what I'm asking you.
Yes, sir.
I need euro in terms of yen. Okay, so I'm an exporter. I don't know what is the cross rate and all, but you are suppose you are the broker, and I'm asking you, sir, you please kindly convert me, and you tell me what rate is applicable for me, and I'll paying the rate to you, sir. Okay, normally traders are like that. Okay, traders don't know what is happening in foreign exchange. They are not experts in that. We people are specialized in those areas, and we have to give an advice to the client. Okay, you cannot go and work with the client. Okay, if the client says that if you don't know, he will not come. He will never come to you. Okay, you are the financial advisor, financial manager, financial analyst who is working in treasury, and he is getting help of you. You have to help him out to say that he says that, sir, you give me what in terms of what will be the price of the euro in terms of yen. I don't know what is this and all. You help me out. So you tell me what I have to do. You can convert now. How much the thing what we are getting here. So this cross rates has to be converted. Cross rates has to be converted, right, to our what the rates that we require. Okay, suppose so first thing you have to follow the chain rule that I have already said to you. The chain rule you have to follow. First thing is that what will be the term currency. So what will be the terms currency in terms of euro? Okay, once again you have to bring this. What will be 1 euro? Okay, so here the exporter is selling euro and buying yen. Now you have to see in terms of bank. So bank will be what? Bank will be buying euro and what? Selling yen. It is not difficult. I don't know why you feel people difficult. You said you to practice it cross rates. If people are not practicing, simply watching it, and you have decided that definitely you will never learn in your life.
Sir, are we getting 1 euro is equal to 105 yen, sir? 105.18, sir.
100.5, just a minute. I'll calculate and see. 0.84. No, 105 point.
So I'm getting 105.54, sir.
1875.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we are getting 105.54. We're getting 105.54, 1 euro, which is in yen. So this is a rate that you have to be giving to the exporter. So this is the code which is given to you. To kindly you go to the particular bank and you do the transaction, right? So it is up to you to do the cross rates. Okay. So it is up to you. I've already taught you on cross rates. People go through that. Okay. So this is the arbitrage, the main type of arbitrage that we have discussed today. So this will be helpful for you to interpret the netting, matching, leading, lagging. Because tomorrow you'll be seeing about the internal risk techniques. So this will be a little bit. So I'll be giving you some basic assumptions, case assumptions, so that you'll be getting more in depth. So kindly do a revision part. Okay, kindly work out and see. Okay. So with that, I'll be ending the session because time is running out. We have the next session also. So thank you then.